Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another episode of The Public Affair, my very first episode of 2024. I'm so happy to be back. Listen, I took a little bit of a hiatus. I've never taken a hiatus from The Public Affair before. I don't know how to act right now. I feel like this is my first time doing it. It's been so long since I recorded. Yes, and I'm all over the fucking place. So thank you guys so much for coming back. I'm so excited to just provide you guys another year of just exciting content, great content, and I'm just so elated to be back. So thank you all again so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rogue Media Network. Thank you guys for having me back after a month. Oh, geez, it was like so weird. I'm telling you, it was weird as fuck walking in this studio.
I bet.
It was so weird just walking in, prepping for the show. Anyway, listen, you guys, before we continue, I hope I can still do this. We're going to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Let's see if I still got it. You ready? This episode is brought to us by David Santabañez with Linear Real Estate, the number one sales agent in his office. He's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea, or call the number on the screen for all your real estate needs, even in 2024. My guy is doing the damn thing. Y habla español también. So if you guys are in the market for a new home, new year, new you, call my boy David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Pee-wee's Crab Cakes of Texas and Armstrong's Bayou Cafe, with my girl Anika Armstrong, serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. Oh my goodness, girl, if you've never been, go and get the crab.
I have.
Girl, my favorite is the crabby seafood pasta.
Okay.
Girl, it's
Same.
everything.
You put me onto that plate.
Did I put you onto it?
You definitely put
Tell
me on.
everybody how good it is.
It's delicious.
It's
10 out of 10. Definitely recommend.
Thebomb.com. Head over to 108 Jim Drive in Hewitt or just on Union Hall if you're here in Waco, or order online at orderpeeweescrabcakesofTexas.com. To my girl Nika Armstrong. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Blue Star RV Services with my boy Manny Guerrero, mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. He's going to deal with the warranty company so you don't have to pay him a small service fee. And him and his fine team, girl. Oh, they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They're all like about that life, but they're fine.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta see.
I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you after this. Okay, but also just follow them on Facebook or call the number on the screen of Blue Star RV Services. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public. And Manny's actually married, so but his team, they're not married. The team's not married. Okay, with Joseph Blancas with JB Auto Detailing, he provides mobile detailing for all of Waco and the surrounding area, promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed, leaving your vehicle looking brand spanking new and absolutely fresh. He has different packages just in case it's a little bit not affordable for you. Every package can be affordable for you with the best quality guareed pricing and such at jbautodetailing.net. Call the number on the screen to book and follow on Facebook at JB Auto Detailing. My boy Joseph Blancas. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the tamborazo, estilo rancho. I told him I was going to do it like that, like my radio voice. By Carlos Salazar, providing live music for any event, birthdays, quinces, weddings, and so much more. Get the party started with the best group in the area. Sure, get everybody off their feet, enjoy all the festivities, get them nice and drunk, lucid, and just right? Who wants to just be sitting down at a party, right? Call the number on the screen to book. Listen, and follow. I know, puro fiesta. And call them follow them on Facebook at Tamborazo Estilo Rancho LLC. To Carlos, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. I cannot go on without thanking Waco Bolt and Supply Company, your new go-to source for nuts, bolts, and all industry supplies, offering a wide selection of high-end products with competitive pricing, perfect for all my friends who are in construction, all my handyman friends. I have a lot of those on Facebook.
We have a lot of those.
I do. But don't be trying to ask me whose DMs I'm in.
No.
I've changed my ways in 2024. Okay. Hey, follow on Facebook.
We left that in 23. Okay?
Yes, we did. I was 22. Follow on Facebook at Waco Bolt and Supply Company and call the number on the screen for more information. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I can still do that.
You did that.
Did I do that? Did I do that shit? Yes, I still got it, right?
On that one. You did that. You did that.
You guys, we are breaking in the new year with a very, very special guest of mine. We used to party back in the day. Girl, before there was radio, I think I was on the radio when I met you. Before there was The Public Affair, before we were entrepreneurs in our own rights and bosses, we were party animals. We were partying. Shout out to Subale DJ. And now she's here in the flesh. She looks absolutely gorgeous. She looks stunning. You lost all this weight.
I know.
What the hell? Oh.
So whenever you met me, you met me a little bit more heavier set.
Yes.
But I had some weight loss surgery in between those 4 years. I lost about 80 pounds.
Girl, you look so great. Listen, we didn't even introduce her. Please welcome my very first guest of 2024, Miss Ashley Olivares. Makeup and More by Ashley. How you doing?
Right.
That's
doing
right.
Great. Thank
and
you
look
for having
stunning.
me.
No, you look stunning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for bringing in the new year with me.
Of course.
Truly, it's so great just catching up with you, seeing you again. Like I said, we used to party back in the day, and we just had the toy drive with Subale DJ. Do you still keep in touch with the DJs?
Man, you know what?
Yeah.
I told him I commented on Alex and on DJ Thas's post, I was like, next year I need in.
Yep,
like
yes.
I'm
It was
so
wild,
proud.
girl.
I'm so proud of all the guys. Guys, y'all did an amazing job. All of them.
They did so
They all
phenomenal.
came together for the community.
Yes.
And things like that are so important for Hispanic community, for the South Waco community, just the community of any minority in general, especially during this time of the year, is so important.
Absolutely.
So important.
They did so good. And you know, I like that you gave them that shout out, because we do the event and it's us, and like Cutis is there too. Shout out to Cutis. And I just like, it was only just some years ago when we were all like on the radio, or we were not as where we are now today. And just thank God that we get to do things like that. Do you know what I mean?
And it makes me so proud. So proud to see that.
We just have really just continue to work together as our own entities and as our own entrepreneurs. It was like a really cool full circle moment for me.
Not only that they grew and like they're growing in their own careers and doing their own things and the way that they do their DJing, but also that they bring the community with them, because if it wasn't for the community, we wouldn't have the jobs that we have.
That's facts.
Like, you know,
that is so facts.
And the fact that he gives back, and then the fact that they put it all together, I mean, big
kudos to them. Absolutely. And I still have been trying to slide in DJ Alex's DMs, but I'm scared because we are friends, but he's DMable. Okay, so listen,
DMable.
He is DMable. God. Well, Ashley, listen, it's so great to have you here on the show. You know, it's been a long time coming. So for anybody who's watching this episode of The Public Affair and they don't know who you are, can you just introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about who you are?
Well, guys, hello. No, hey, guys, my name is Ashley Olivares. I'm a freelance hair and makeup artist here in Waco, Texas. I've been doing it for about 8 years now. And so that is like my side hustle, my full-time job. I work at Startup Waco. I'm the membership and events manager there, and I love it.
Girl, I'm not invited back to no Startup Waco.
Well,
I turned up at
weekend,
Startup Waco. Yes.
Whatever we have on the weekend, that's a part of our office hours. Like office hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. That's Startup Waco. Anything that y'all have after that, that's on you.
What did we did? When did I get picked up from Echo? It was that day I got picked up from Echo. Shout out to Pota. Yes, I got so drunk and I did the interview at Startup Waco and I was so fucked up, Ashley. They needed me though. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it, you guys. I don't care. It was so stale. It was stale. I walked in and it was a snorgasm, and I was like, oh, I gotta turn this shit up. And so I was late for my interview, or they were late for me. And so I walked next door and taught her how to make me a mimosa, and she did. And so I drank like 2 mimosas on top of the mimosas I had, and then I went back to Echo. And I've told this story 100,000 times, but shout out to Leslie, Morrow, and Jaime, who came pick me up and saved me from the toilet bowl. But I don't think I'm allowed back at Startup Waco. But shout out to Startup Waco.
Were you the one that vomited? No way.
No, at Echo?
At your at Startup, because
no, I did not vomit at Startup.
Oh, I was about to say,
that was not me. Okay, no, girl, I will tell you, I was still coherent at Startup Waco. Okay, I even walked. It was so cute. I remember going.
My poor lady, I had.
No, that was not me. No, I walked to the bathroom after my interview, which everybody liked, and the crowd was stiff. But there was one guy who followed me to the bathroom. He was cute, and he said, he was like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to tell you, I thought you were great, and I just wanted to see if."
All nervous.
Like I was like, just talk to me, like
spit it out.
I was like, do you want to like make out? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? I was fucked up, but no. Shout out to Startup Wake Up. Listen, you know, talk to us a little bit about your early life, Ashley, and life growing up for you. What was it? For
life
you?
Growing up for me was actually really great.
Oh, good.
So I was born and raised in church all my life. My family is, my grandpa's a pastor. Mm-hmm. My mom and my dad, always, took me to church.
Yeah.
My family's real close and tight knit.
Sure.
I have a wonderful family, a beautiful, supportive family.
That's good.
And so growing up was pretty much just being sheltered. I guess that's all it was. So sometimes, once you grow up, you break out of your shell a little bit, and you're like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
It tends to get there. But no, my family, shout out to my family. They're amazing people, super, super great people. And so after that, in my 20s is whenever I had my son. Yeah, and so he's 11 now.
That's so crazy. I kind of want to ask you though, like, so you're growing up and you're in the church, but girl, when I met you, I thought you were anything but church. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. We were all partying and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you turned up just as much as we all turned up. So do you think that there's a nuance, like, or maybe there's a stigma, like people might have started looking at you different because, you know, dad's a pastor and this and that, but then like we were partying with you. You know what I mean? So did you ever get any backlash for like letting loose?
Only from like my family, because my family is like, you know, that's not how we raised you. That's not what, you know, that's not how we want you to live your life. Yeah. And I was like, but leave me alone. It's a phase.
I was going to say, so when you're going through that phase, because I feel like we all do. Like, I'm not going to lie. I didn't start drinking until I was 21. Like, I was a late bloomer. Yeah. And then, I mean, I lost my virginity when I was like 24. And so, but then I was a hoe for like years, right? And so
you made up for some lost time.
I made up for a lot of lost time. I was a hoe probably up until I was 30. And so, right? And so... Anyway, no, so you're doing the party thing, you're going through your phase or whatever. What made you though? Like, what was the thing that made you break out of your shell? Like, was it when you like moved out or anything?
No, I think what really helped me, like, I guess come out of my shell was just my friends. I mean, I guess I just really enjoyed, of course, you know, having that freedom and things like that. That's whenever it all tends to kind of like be a little bit easier. But definitely like everything gets tiring, you know, just like how you have your whole face, like the whole party face. Just
I don't do it anymore. I don't party anymore. I like if you want to go to brunch, I'll go to brunch.
Yeah, but if brunch is dangerous sometimes too.
Oh, girl, yeah, don't play with me. But well, we talk about Echo, and so but yeah, I am so not about to go to the club. Yeah. Like I mean, I went to the last club I went to was at Warehouse for my girl Leslie's birthday. Yeah. And even then I was like, I don't know about all this. But then I got to see Joe Olivares throwing people out of the club.
You were a little
and
turned
it was
on.
so hot. No, it was so hot. I told him that. I was like, bro, that was hot as fuck. Watching, you know, because he's like yelling and fucking, you know, muscles and shit. I was like, hell yeah. Throw that bitch out too. Yeah.
Like, you know what? There's a girl over there. Go get her.
Yeah, I think she was doing coke. Like, I'm kidding. Stop. Talk to me about. So you're a single mother. Okay, so can we kind of dive into that a little bit?
Of course.
Listen, and no bashing nobody. I just.
Oh no, definitely no.
Yeah. So
there's never been any bashing. Like I think if you follow, like I've only had one Facebook for like the last 13 years. So I mean everything's there. Like I've never done the whole bashing a baby daddy kind of thing. That's never been my thing. Sometimes people even ask me like, who is he? And I'm like, that's
so you keep that private. Okay, got you.
I mean, there's really nothing to talk about there. It's really just wrong person, wrong choice that you make. But I mean, that's just the bed that you lay in.
But you were going through your phase, and they're fun. The wrong ones are fun.
Well, I don't know about being a single mom is fun.
Well, no, but before you were a single mom,
don't do it, guys.
No, wait,
make it work. Get married.
I want to talk about that though. So you meet this guy, you know, and by no means are we gonna be like, you know, bashing his character, right? Like that's fine. But so you meet somebody, and you know you're growing up in the church, but now you're going through a phase or whatever the case is.
It was definitely a whole different world that I was used to, you know. And it was like, hey, come on, let's go out over here, let's go out of town there, let's do this, and I'm like, okay, and, you know, and it sounded fun, and it was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, sure.
It was great, and I mean, you're with somebody for so long, you tend to fall in love with them, and everything's fine and dandy, and then until it's not fine and dandy, and then shit hits the fan, and now you're like, oh.
So it's fair to say that he was anything but sheltered. Like, so he was all over.
No, he came from a great family too.
So
sure. It's just a lot of bad choices down the road on his end and things like that. Right. So like that really made the mark of being like, okay, this is it. Like, you know, there's no coming back from that. There's no, you know, there's just no second chances. You know, you're living your life the way that you know that you're not supposed to. Yeah. And it's just moving forward from it. And so it was hard. Like, it was really hard. And that's what caused a lot of the weight gain. Like, in between that time while I was dealing with all the things with, you know, his dad and stuff. Sure. And watching them grow up, and it's just a lot of issues and a lot of, you know, opinions from left and right. Oh yeah. And so that caused a lot of depression, like a lot of depression. But, you know, going back to the whole weight loss, once I had my weight loss surgery, you know, I was like, okay, like I can do this. You know, you get a little self-confidence, you get your emotions back up, your spirits back up, and you're like, okay, you know, maybe this isn't how I imagined my life to be. Maybe this isn't how I wanted it to be. But I mean, it's just, you got to just roll with the punches, and that's it.
And you know, share what you are comfortable with sharing. But you know, when we say that there were bad choices made and things that were unforgivable, was there like maybe infidelity?
No. There's just a lot of personal choices
Sure.
on his that, landed him, like, to get locked up and stuff.
I got you. Okay.
And once you have like all that, it just comes with that type of lifestyle that he was living. It comes with a lot of dangerous things that can put a child in danger that you just don't want to involve yourself with.
Do you let your son get to have a relationship with him, or is that kind of just no? Okay, so gotcha.
We're completely cut off with that, and it's just for the best. I mean, everybody lives and has their own opinion on how they want to raise their kids, and that's just how I have mine.
Well, and then especially you growing up in a pretty religious family. I bet they were.
I wouldn't necessarily call it religious, where they're just like, oh my God, everything's a sin. No, my family's like, they're more bigger on the whole having a relationship with God and things like that, and just praying about it. So, and thank God, because if they were religious, they would have been like, get out, don't talk to us, you're shunned. Like, no, like my family was so supportive and so loving, and it honestly takes a village. Like I always say, I'm not a single mom, I'm just the mom that's single, because the support that my family gives me is one of a kind. Even times where I've just like screwed it up and I'm just like crap, like they come back, they're like, Ashley, you need to do better, Ashley, you need to make better choices. Like my family is like my backbone. Like
that's great.
Like if it wasn't for my family, like before anything else, like oh my God, I would have nothing if it wasn't for them.
That's so great. That is beautiful.
I love my family, and I am so appreciative of them, especially my dad that stepped up and he took like that father figure role for Armando, and that's like the biggest blessing for the both of us, because my dad's such an amazing person, a stand-up guy, very righteous man, and for my son to be able to have that, and not only my dad but my grandpa as well, like it's big. And on top of that, have my brothers and my cousins that also that they take Armando, hey, come on, let's go over here, hey, let's go do this. So he has a lot of great influence in his life, and so thank God that for them, that that's I have amazing. Them, because if it wasn't for them, oh my gosh.
Do you think sometime down the road, maybe if he wanted to, you would let him maybe try to build a relationship?
He could. I mean, I'm never gonna turn him down from that, because everybody has a right to know where they come from and things like that. And I've thought about stuff like that. My family, they sat down with me and they're like, hey, he's getting older, what are we gonna tell him? Where I'm like, well, we'll just tell him the truth. Right. And so his dad's kind of gone away for a while now, so I don't think I have to worry about that right now.
Well, it's gonna come around.
It's gonna come around. So hopefully by the time he comes around, Armando's like way older, and I don't have to worry about that as much. Right now it's a little bit hard, because they're kids, they're children. You have to watch how you mold their mind and things like that. So you don't want to keep them too sheltered, but you also kind of want to let the reins loose just a little bit, just enough for them to understand and make, give them that choice of making those decisions.
So Ashley, but do you date though? Like, has he maybe met some boyfriend? No, you don't.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, heck no. I would die. No. Yeah. So if you're really close to me, you know that my son is like my little toxic. Like I call him my little toxico, because I don't need a husband, because he keeps me on my toes. My dad is like, you don't need a husband. He was like, that boy right there wakes you up to make him breakfast. Wow. That boy, oh my God, I have to make him lunch every day. If I don't make him lunch, he like throws the biggest spits. He's like, Mom, I want a strawberry milkshake. And I mean, he's like so demanding that thank God that my mom is there for him too. So whenever he wants something, my mom, like, I'm just like, ugh. He's like, Mom, can you make me some popcorn? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go ask my grandma. Yeah. And there goes my grandma making it. Yeah. So no, I mean, no, Armando, I don't think he'll ever. Right. But at the moment, I don't think he's.
But like, you're gonna want to date, right? I mean, you're a beautiful woman.
I mean, of course, I do date. Thank you. No, of course I do date, but I don't like introduce. He hasn't met anybody or anything like that. I think my family hasn't met anybody or brought anybody around.
That's like your thing that you do.
That's like my thing. I try to keep that as private as possible from them, so that they don't have an idea. Because I mean, obviously some stuff doesn't work out. Right. And I just hold myself back from like that, having to explain what happened and things like that. So
do you maybe strive one day for like a traditional family unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because I was born and raised in a traditional family. All of my cousins are, it's beautiful because, I have my cousins that they have their partners and they're starting their family. My brother's married, has 2 beautiful children. His wife is great. So it's things like that. I was the oldest. Yeah. So I should have been the example to have set. Yeah. Right, and it didn't happen like that. Sure. I mean, but I see it. Yeah. I mean, it happens. I'm not the first person. I'm not the last. So, but, I do see, and I see it, even with my parents, and they've been married for 35 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And I mean, they have a beautiful marriage. Even my aunts and my uncles and my cousins and things like that, the ones that are married, they have all beautiful marriages that I admire so much. And I'm just like, man, I want that one day.
Sure.
Like,
Sure, everybody wants that, right? I can't wait till I have a daughter and a wife.
The more traditional aspect, but yes.
I asked this on a prior episode. Do you think that a boy, like your son's age, do you think that they have to have a male influence in their life?
I believe so, because I mean, there's just some things that you just can't teach a
kid.
Because
there's a lot of women that like, no, my son doesn't need no.
No. Because even like that, like even opening the doors, like I'm very traditional. I'm very old school. Like thank God for my dad and from my grandpa that that they never had me lift a finger for anything. My dad was like, no, I'll take out the trash, or here, let me lift up something that's heavy for you, or let me open the doors for me, things like that. Those are just little things that I feel like as men should do.
Yeah, it is weird.
And so and thank God now that my baby, he's a little bit older now, he's like, Mom, here, I'll open the door for you, or here, Mom, do you want me to help you take out the trash? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you want to learn how to pump some gas?
Okay.
I told you gas.
You can't pump your own gas either. I did learn that. Yeah.
No, I can pump my gas. So I have a friend. Shout out to my friend Nancy. Nancy does not touch the gas pump. She's like, really? I don't pump gas. I don't touch. I'm like, girl,
that's so weird.
No, oh my God,
that is really weird to me.
Like, I'll do what I have to
gas
do,
is like a necessity. I have to put gas in my car.
But she has a man and brothers and the dad and that does all that. She calls somebody to pump her gas, and I'm like, girl. So I mean, I wish I had that luxury, but I don't. So sometimes I gotta pump my own gas, and it's okay. But
do you think that the partying and all that calmed down when you became a mom, or do you still like?
No, all that happened after. Like,
okay.
After. Mm-hmm.
So how do you do so amicably, or like like, because you like to go out, you like to have a good time. That's fair to say. And Ashley's the turn up, and so how do you manage being a single mother but then still doing what you like to do? You know what I mean? And then being that role model. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure it's daunting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all. And just sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes my mom and my dad are like, you know what? Mm-hmm. You need to sit your butt down. Like, you need to take a time out. You need to start refocusing on what you're doing. And I can tell whenever some things, I'm having a little bit too much fun. Yeah. Things start, shifting, like in the business, or things start shifting, like just little things like that. I'm like, okay, it's time for a break, time to stop, reset, and move it forward. But whenever it's like that, like I said, my parents do a lot with Armando, or like my sister-in-law, my brother, like, hey, we're going to go over here. Do you want to join us? I'm like, okay. Sure. But I try to keep that real separate from them. Yeah, like, because Armando's, Armando, if you would see me, he'd be like, sit down, like, don't sing, like, we'll go on vacation, and then like we're at the pool party or whatever, like at the resorts and stuff. Sure. He's like, Mom, sit down, like you're Mom, embarrassing him. Like,
he doesn't understand who his mother is. That's what's going on here, and he's gonna learn to appreciate it here in about 5 years.
And that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be a time in high school when he's gonna be like, yeah, my mom's crunk,
like, but right now he doesn't know. Listen, Ashley, we are gonna take a quick break, okay? Right. And when we get back, we're gonna learn more about Ashley. We're gonna learn more. I want to know a little bit more about your dating life, of course, your career as a makeup artist and Startup Waco, and what we've got going on next. So make sure you guys stay tuned here on The Public Affair. We'll be right back. Woo! Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Ms. Ashley Olivares. I said your last name right?
Yeah,
it's Olivares.
Olivares.
Yeah, yes. I'm trying to say it in Spanish because I'm bilingual. Listen, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Banda's hauling service with Julian and Ana Banda. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up and they're going to haul it away even in 2024. That's right. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals and haul cars in and out of town. And now they're even offering roll-off dumpster services as well. Perfect for big get-togethers. You know how we like to party and shit, right? And there's always beer bottles and stuff like that. Rent the dumpster, please. That way you can clean up after yourself. Okay,
huge. That's like.
They don't play, okay? Listen, book now with the number on the screen of Banda's Hauling Service. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the SoCo Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training, and also with elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes with professionals like George De Leon. They have occasional open plays on Mondays and Wednesdays for ages 16 and older, so make sure you guys are following them on Facebook. I feel like they are the perfect, ideal spot for your kids for like a daycare service as well. You know what I mean? Just keep them occupied, keep their minds jogging, and The Public Affair remains a very proud sponsor of the SoCo soccer teams, coached by my bro Mauro Maldonado. Coach Mauro, you're doing big things with your teams. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for the opportunity for letting me sponsor. Continue to do great things. Make sure you guys follow on Facebook at SoCo Soccer Academy. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Strike a Pose Photography with Myra Rosales, digital photo booth business, perfect for parties, private events, corporate events, and so much more. It's fun, convenient, and it's easy. Don't be having no party and then you don't have no photo booth to make memories with.
I know.
Why would you do that, right? That's so lame.
Something.
Get the photo booth with Strike a Pose Photography with Myra Rosales. Call now with the number on the screen. Hurry up. All right. The Strike a Pose photo booth. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, the Waco decal plug with my boy Randy Orguin. He's a vinyl graphic artist and installer. Listen, Randy creates custom decals, perfect for up-and-coming business owners and entrepreneurs. Hit him up for custom decals and designs, especially if you're looking for someone to create a logo for you and your business. You know how you would be starting businesses, you know how to create your own logo. Randy can do that for you. Okay. He's very, very talented, all right? Y habla español también. Listen, call for free estimates with them on the screen and follow on Facebook and Instagram at Waco Decal Plug. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys, we're right back. Oh, we're here with my very special guest, Ashley Olivares. Listen, I feel like I'm all jumpy and shit. I'm rusty.
No,
am I rusty? I'm rusty. I'm a little bit rusty.
Just a little.
Listen, I gotta get back into it.
We're a little dormant, but hey, we're gonna keep on building the momentum.
We got this fucking thing. It's gonna be 2024. It's the holidays. Listen, we talked about your dating life and everything, right? Listen, you're gorgeous. These men in town don't know how to act. How are the DMs for you, Ashley?
The DMs, they stay pretty full, but I tend to just ignore it. I'm not a dating app person.
Okay.
Started working full time, kind of come into a different atmosphere of people, which is really awesome. You get to meet new people, and I'm like, you know what? As long as I have my friends that are like always constantly doing something, going somewhere, you're always gonna meet somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole dating app thing is just.
I feel like dating is non-existent for me. I hate when people ask me how my love life is going.
They're like, what?
Like, what fucking love life? And you know what? I lost all this weight, right? And I got hair, and then my DMs are still dry as a whistle. And especially since I cut married men out of the equation. Oh. Yeah, I don't do married men no more. And and so now it's like nothing. And I was like, damn, it was all married men.
But you don't go out though. Like I
don't want to go out.
I'm not saying like go out to like crazy places, but I mean like if a friend invites you out, like hey, come on, let's come to this event over here, or hey, let's go check this.
Yeah, well, I do. Yes, I do things like that sometimes. Now, when I went to warehouse,
but I feel like you're working whenever you do those things.
Yeah, that's true.
And that doesn't count. Like I feel like whenever you're working, you have to be like high. Impact and high. Hey, and that's not approachable sometimes.
I mean, no, you're right, because I tried to have a meeting when I was hosting Battle of the Bands at Southern Roots Brewery. And I was having a meeting with Orlando Montalongo, who ended up being on the show. And I was trying to meet with him but host at the same time, and it was really, really difficult.
You can't mix business with pleasure, Andrew.
Well, no, it was a meeting to be on the show. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't trying to sleep with him, which if he was down, I would have, but like he's not gay. And so, or married. But no. We were like trying to eat fucking pizza, drink beer, and then it's like, okay, give me a second, I gotta go back on stage. And then we're going on stage, and then, it was just a hot mess express. You're right. I can't do that.
That's a lot. So I think maybe just like a time whenever you're not working, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, maybe I should get out a little bit more. I just don't want to. But there were some suspects at warehouse. Okay. There were definitely some suspects in the bathroom. Well, and then in the bathroom at warehouse, there's no dividers in the stalls, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so I will tell you. In the bathroom at warehouse, in the club, in the men, you know how they have the urinals where you can stand up and pee? Like they don't have dividers, and so we're all peeing next to each other, and I mean. I'm finna look. Like, of course, you know, like, just a little peek. Like, I just want to see, you know. No, I was going in the stall. Let me shut the fuck up before they beat me up. God. Anyway, listen. So you're a renowned makeup artist here in town, hairstylist. You make people look as gorgeous as you do.
Oh,
Talk to me about the beginnings of that career and why you got started in that.
So this is why I love my family so much, because the way that career started for me, it was just by chance. So, and this is my full circle. So it was my cousin Isabella, which she's like a little sister to me, and her mom is like a second mom to me.
Sure.
And so it was her quinceañera was coming up, and my aunt was like, look, I do not want to spend money at a hair salon knowing that I'm not going to like the work, knowing that I'm not going to like what they're doing, and I don't want to pay all that money. So you're always with your makeup done. What I'm going to do is I want you to do it. Okay. And I was like, me? And she's like, yeah. She was like, do your research. Tell me what it is that you want. Mm-hmm. Tell me what products you need, and I'll buy it for you. Doesn't matter what it is. No limit, no nothing. But I want it to look good. I want it to be done right.
Right.
Just make sure that you do your research on what products you need, and then we'll go from there. So for a whole year, I was like, okay, this is what I need. This is what I want. Sure. You know, and it's like in like YouTube era of like YouTube makeup tutorials. Oh my God, it's so bad. and that's I was like, okay, like I need these products, I need that product, I need this and that. And okay, fine. So she ended up doing that, and the day of her quinceañera came, she had other cousins that had quinceañeras coming up in the following months, and they're like, we want you, you know, we love her hair and makeup, you come and do it. And that's how it got started, and it just built up momentum from there. And so I would like to say that I was one of the first people that kind of did like that freelance, you know, just kind of show up, let me do the work for you, you know, and here it goes. And
you could say that.
Yeah, no. And so I've been doing it for about 8 years now, and it just literally landed in my lap. And I wasn't expected to take off like the way it did, and it did, thank God.
So when you say freelance, that means you're not necessarily working at like a salon or anything.
Correct.
Okay, but you're still certified to do makeup and hair.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So why not work for a business like at a hair salon or makeup place or something?
The whole entrepreneurship part for me was to never work for somebody else. I didn't want to work for somebody else. But the only thing that kind of put all that to a halt, because so everything started going good. I started building a lot of momentum, and then I started having birthday parties for my son, and I love birthday parties and planning it and putting it all together.
Really? I can't stand it.
So there was no, you have to have a certain type of patience. You have to have a certain type of patience for that. And so I started doing party and event planning with that, and I started doing decorating and things like that. And that started taking off, and once that started taking off, 2020 came and COVID hit. Then I was left with nothing, like with nothing at all. And August of 2020, every year I always make a post just to kind of remind myself and keep myself humbled, because man, standing in line to get a free haircut for Armando, and him crying because he hated the free haircut. He's like, Mom, this is not what I want. I was like, baby, I'm sorry, I don't have the $30 to pay for it right now. Like, you know, we're gonna have to buy it on some shoes. Like, you know, it was hard. It was hard, and it was humbling. But I mean, because of that, I was like, you know what? And I didn't want to go work like at a call center. I mean, working almost 7 years, for myself, by myself, you know, making my income, everything was flowing. Every weekend was booked. And then double booked with even events and partying, and then to go back to work, like in the office space, I was like,
but you had to do what you had to do.
I had to do what I had to do, and then thank God. So after August, September, October, it started opening back up again, and then December came, and then January, February was like, whoosh, like a whirlwind of everybody, you know, that had canceled the year before. They're like all starting to do, and I was working like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, and I was like, oh, thank God, like, you know, it's funny building back up. And then I get a call, and they're like, hey, there's this position that's coming up available, you know, at this place called Startup Waco. And I had no idea about Startup Waco. And they're like, I think you'd be a good fit for you, you know, come in and apply. It's just part-time. And I was like, okay, perfect, you know, part-time. And once I walked in that space, I was like, oh my God, this place is so freaking neat.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
It
God,
is nice
so
in Startup
cool.
Waco, yeah.
It is nice.
Yes.
And then I met with Elaine Boteo, which is our HR lady.
Yeah.
Who's a really good friend of the family. And she was like, I think you're perfect for the job here. She was like, I think you'd be great. And she's one of my biggest mentors as well. That's there good. At work. And so I'm really blessed to have her as well. Yeah. And that's how I started. And so after that, I was like, you know what? I'm too scared to like just go back to doing hair and makeup again, because that big halt into it, I was like, you know what? That's
something that's real that will hinder your progress. Like that could happen. Like the pandemic, nobody expected that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like nobody woke up one day and said, okay, we're gonna be out of work for so long. You know what I mean? And so and it's, I like that you talk about that humbling moment where you had to go get the free haircut, or because they like people look at us and they think that we just have it all together. Yeah. Like you wouldn't believe how many people would think that I'm just rich. And I will say 2023 swept me on my ass. And I had a big piece of humble pie in 2023, a big piece. And so it's I like those moments in our life. And while they're hard to go through, it reminds us, it puts us back in like, you're a human. Yeah. God did not make us perfect. Exactly. Right? And I'm about to humble the fuck out of you. Right.
Oh, yeah. And if it wasn't for those moments that keep me, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? Yes, I have an amazing job. And yes, that's more than anything. But for extra income and things like that, I don't ever want to like get too comfortable with that. Cause I mean, it's always, you can always. Right. You can never have too much money.
No, for sure. No. So hey, do you have any client horror stories? Like, when you were doing somebody's makeup or hair and you just messed it up, and maybe they were just like getting ready to just drag you through the mud.
Not that anybody's told me.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's ever come back and be like, I hate this, or this is horrible. I mean, of course, it's just all a learning experience. Sure. I'm pretty sure in the beginning stages, if you like scroll like all the way down on my IG at Makeup Hair by Ashley, like you scroll all the way down, you're like, ooh, girl, like I started there, and
I was gonna say, do you look back at some of your old work? Yeah,
heck yeah, I have to look back at my old work.
And you are you like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, you know what I mean?
No, it's not so much that, because at the moment I knew what I was wanting to do. But I mean, of course, all techniques, just being self-taught and things like that. And even after you take courses and things like that, and you get certified with certain master hairstylists and master makeup artists, it's different. Right. But I mean, everything's just a growing experience. And I mean, I guess at the time, at the whatever the trend was, whatever was in style at the moment, I mean, that's just what it was. And so people liked it. And so
I don't know, like in my time off that I just took, I was watching really old episodes of The Public Affair. Like I even watched the Subala DJ guys. That was like episode 13 or something like that. And I watched the fucking show, even the way I did my ads. And I'm just like, God damn.
But you know what? Doing ads, like I'm watching you do your ads right now, and it's so hard. So
tell them it's live. Tell them it's live. It's please. Live. It is live. Thank you. It's going live
fast.
And in color. All right.
I'm hearing. I'm impressed.
I was watching one, and Fatboy Michelana Botana, who I love, right? Junior Banda. And I was watching when I did his first ad, and I was like, and this episode was brought to us by Fatboy Michelana y Botana. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And now, you know what I mean?
Now you gotta
it's like, Andrew, what the hell are you doing in there? Yeah, it's crazy.
No, and I got a little glimpse of like how to shoot a commercial, like do things like that. So last year for Latino Night with HLN, which is another great organization that I've been a part of, since I, started working at Startup. So we have this great event, and we're gonna have one this year.
Oh, you invited me for drinks. I didn't want to see somebody, so I didn't go. Oh.
So we went for Latino Night, so we're gonna have it this year again. So
I'll go.
If y'all need some information, hit me up, because we're looking for sponsors for this year. But anyways, so I had to do the commercial for it, and I had to do it in Spanish, and it was me and Pedro Zamora. We did it for the Spanish version, and man, they were like, okay, it's a minute long, you got to do it, and I'm like,
isn't it harder than it seems?
And I'm like,
it's harder than it seems,
it's
right?
It's way harder than it seems.
I will say we, because I've been in media for a long time, so I am gonna pop my shit. We make it look very easy.
Yeah,
but it's not. Go watch my first ad on episode 3. Fuck that.
No, and then we had to do the radio edit, and then oh my god, the radio edit, and then you know, and you have to say it in Spanish, and you have to say all these words, but you have to cut it down. And you're like, okay, you only get 20 seconds. And 20 seconds to say like a minute long ad, and you're like,
it's very hard because, well, it could be intimidating when like you have the script in front of you and it looks like a full page script and you have to read it in 30 seconds, but it can be done.
Yeah,
it can be done.
Oh, it can be done.
And it's just, you know, like, because I actually just recently did career day at La Vega Elementary.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes, those kids were ruthless to me, and so they told me, you talk fast, like you talk so fast.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but you can understand what I'm saying though, right? Like you have to be articulate. You know what I mean? And so it's just there's a whole thing behind it. Like,
but I think you're the way that you talk and enunciating things all goes back to like your radio days. And
I learned it in the radio because Chrissy will tell you, God, shout out to, I'm always going to give a shout out to Devora's, what the fuck, audio something. I forgot what they were the first commercial that I recorded and they trashed it. I thought my career was over. I was like, oh, this is terrible. Yeah. And so now, I mean, I did Dunkin' Donuts commercials junk. Like, I could do this. Easy, I be on this show fucked up and I'm like, I can do this. And I do. Listen, okay, so, you know, you're really going hard in your community involvement, right? Why is that so important for you, Ashley?
Well, because I was born and raised in Waco.
Right.
Waco is all I've ever known. I've never moved out of Waco. I don't want to move out of Waco. This is like my forever home now. You know, it's everything that I've ever known, and now my son, it's all he knows and things like that. You know. But for me, it's so important to be involved. And there's so many great opportunities. So for anybody that's wanting to start up a new business, anybody that has, you know, that's new to the city and that just wants to get to know people, you know, there's great events that are held by like local chambers. There's great events even at where I work at Startup Waco. If you follow us on social media, you can always get plugged in with things like that. And so there's so many great things, you know, happening, you know, even like at the art center downtown, you know, farmers market. There's so much that's happening that you don't have to go to Dallas or to Austin for this stuff anymore.
And that's the misconception.
And then at that, there always used to be like this disconnect between downtown and like South Waco and North Waco. Like, you know, some people think like, oh, I can't be down there. Like, you know, they don't want my kind down there. And I used to have that misconception as well. I'm like, oh, I've never been to Magnolia. Like, what am I going to do down there? But now I love it. Like, you know, now I pass by it every day going to work and I'm like, man, this is beautiful. Like, I encourage anybody that's, you know, that hasn't been like it's a beautiful sight to see, and there's things like that.
Most definitely. Do you know, but I like to ask the question because I've had I try not to stick too much to the politics, right? But I've had like Tiffany Vidania on the show, who I love. I love Tiffany Vidania. Do you think sometimes there is misrepresentation for our community or in the city?
No, I don't think there's much of
representation. We talk about enunciating. Misrepresentation.
Yes. No, I think it's out there. It's just people that need to step up. If you feel like you're not represented, you know, you have a voice as well. Stand up, do the work.
And you know, I like what you said too, that how there's opportunity. So like even like podcasting. Yeah. Right? Like shout out to all the podcasts. I really feel like I put that on in Waco. Yeah. And humbly speaking, right? And I love and, you know, appreciate everybody who has told me that as well. Then I think of like, I was doing Uber the other day and a guy was telling me I never heard too much about soccer in Waco, but there is do you know what SoCo Soccer Academy is? And I was like, yes, I know what SoCo Soccer Academy is, you know? And so I feel like he's really put like Dominic has put indoor on the map in Waco. And there's people traveling here from Waco. My bro Morrow, who coaches the soccer teams, the kids. Yeah. I feel like he's putting that on the map and now they're going to start traveling and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so that's another thing that I really find great is that, you know, they're guys that I went to school with Dominic. So Dominic and seeing what him and his wife have been doing how great that facility is. You know, my son does indoor soccer too, so you know he's playing on a couple of leagues, you know, a couple of seasons there too. And it's just things like that, you know, if you don't see it, Waco's just a big plethora of opportunity that if you can think it, go for it.
You have to create it, because if I would have listened to everybody that said this podcast is not going to be big unless you go to Dallas, Austin, Houston, then I would have been in the same mindset as well. Same thing could be said probably for Dominic. You can't start indoor soccer in Waco. Like, who's going to come to Waco to play indoor soccer? But damn it, let Soko Soccer Academy be having a league. Yeah, and it's packed. You know what I mean? It's packed.
I think it just goes down to being obsessed with what you love to do.
Absolutely.
And that's so important, to just be obsessed and love the craft that you do, and honestly have a passion for it. And I think that's so important.
You know who gave me that advice, and maybe you saw him last night, because I saw you guys had a shindig last night. Ziad Halabi.
Oh, I love Ziad.
He was on this show. That way, he took me out when the podcast was very fresh.
Yes.
And he was like, Andrew, you have an infectious personality, and this is what you're made for. You need to become obsessed with it. And that Ziad, if you watch
Shout
this,
out to Z, because my boy always has some great words of encouragement.
Always has the best advice. Ziad, I want you to know I held on to that shit. And isn't he fine? He is fine. He's right. No, he's fine. He is fine. Like I mean, I don't mean that in a gay way. No, but he's just really
aside from his looks, his heart is what's amazing. Yes. And like, if you really
very good guy
and truly get to sit down and see how he is, like he is Uncle Z. Like he is such a great, like right now what he's doing, or what he did with Project Ziad
with the Christmas stuff.
With the Christmas,
yes, phenomenal. Like, oh God, kudos to you.
And that's what
I'm
saying. Like,
awesome.
I love people that give back to the community, and whenever they can. Like even Roman does.
Yeah. Roman Novian.
Roman Novian. Shout out to him too. They're always, they're just great people that doing for the community. So
and then I feel like we learn in our entrepreneurship about the importance of giving back, because girl, let me tell you something. When I started the podcast 3 years ago, I wasn't trying to give nobody shit. Like this is my money that I'm making. This is what I'm doing.
You can't have that.
You can't have that. And what I will say, when I started sponsorship for the Soko soccer teams, again, shout out to Coach Morrow, when I started doing that with him, and like the parents of the kids would come up to me, because he'd be like, hey, we're gonna go like eat pizza, come, whatever. And the parents would come up to me and be like, you don't understand how much we appreciate this. Aww. Like, you don't understand like how much this helps us out. And I'm just like, okay, like, what I mean? I'll keep doing it. Like, it's cool. And the kids too, with their little equipment, and I don't fucking know what's the hexagon here, take it. You know what I mean? And so I've learned that giving back and how important it is. And I know it sounds like cliche.
No,
but it's true.
And I think it's so important to surround yourself with people that are positive like that. And like, and one thing it is to have fun and things like that, but make sure that you're around people that have something to lose. Like, if you're just partying with people that don't have anything to lose, they'll drag you down.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, everything's done, whenever it's done right in moderation with the right people, like there's nothing wrong with it, And like having people that, that you can admire, even at our age, we're still young.
For sure.
And the fact that, back in the days, only people that were like, 65 and retired, that had money that did that. Now it's people our age, giving back to the community. And I think that is so awesome.
It really is. And we're just over here just trying to fucking make it.
Yeah, and that's
we are. We're really just out here trying to make it.
And I think that's why it's so important to make sure that you build the community around yourself, with other people that are like-minded as you, as you are, and that's so important. And I'm grateful to have the friends that I've made at Startup. There's Katie Selman that she used to have Stay Classy Bar. Katie.
Oh, yeah.
Katie is so smart.
Yeah.
Nancy and all the guys.
You're talking about Nancy Pulsini. Yes, I know her
Nancy.
too. Yes.
So, I mean, they're great people in the community that do a lot for the community as well. And, they put you on, and they're always wanting to educate people.
It's cool. And, it's also sad too. Like the more we grow in our entrepreneurship, like I lost a lot of friends, you know what I mean? And I gained friends. And then I learned how to like, shift my paradigm in friendships. Like I reference my bros a lot. Yeah. Like I reference them a lot. And like one is always like, Andrew, you're Andrew, dude. And then the other one's like, the fuck you crying for? You know what I mean? like toughen the fuck up. Yeah, I don't fucking give a shit. Go clean up. And I'm like, and so it's crazy, but I appreciate those small things, because I feel like it helps me be more successful. It pushes my drive.
No, and I definitely have a group of friends, because I mean, life is tough sometimes,
Girl,
like
yes.
all the time,
Oof.
you know. But I mean, the fact to have a support system, not only from my family but from friends as well, that makes a world of a difference.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ashley, God, I hate that we're running out of time, but one more question before we go, and it was so great having you on the show.
Thank
you. All we were missing was the liquor, but okay, then we could have really turned up. You're single, you're successful, you're a mother, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
You're lit, you're still lit. What advice do you have to somebody anybody for that matter, or maybe a single mom or somebody who's just discouraged in life right now?
Man, there's a solution to everything. There's a solution to everything except death. So as long as you're alive, as long as you have breath in you, you know, put your faith towards God or to whatever you want to believe in, but hold on to something and surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you. Surround yourself around positive people. You know, there's always a solution to something.
Right.
And even if you think that there's not, ask for help. You know, find help, find resources. You know, everybody has a phone. It's not just meant for like Facebook and Instagram. Like Google stuff, like, you know, like local, whatever it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for, internships, if you're looking for network opportunities, if you're looking for help with your business, or if it's just any little thing, you know, put yourself out there, look for different opportunities. Waco, do not hold Waco, you know, don't put them so small, because we're growing. There's
we are.
A lot of opportunities out there for everybody. And it's just looking for them. It's just taking the time to dedicate some time to actually put in some motion forward to that. It's just
what you make it.
Yeah.
This life is what you make it.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, it's a new year. I think it's a great opportunity to be able to start fresh.
Yes.
I mean, nothing's too small.
And Ashley's still finna be lit. So if you guys go out and you see Ashley and you ask her if you want to take a shot, she's gonna take a shot.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a big resolution for me now. It's like, okay, like it's time to settle down. Like it's time to I don't know, but I'm still bringing the vibe. I'm still a vibe.
You're the vibes.
I'm the vibe.
You're the vibe. Stop it. Well, Ashley, I had such a good time.
Thank you.
Having you on the show. For anybody that's interested in wanting to do the hair, makeup, or whatever.
For anybody that wants to find me on Instagram, I'm at it's Makeup Hair by Ashley, and I'm on IG and I'm on Facebook as well.
Yeah, it's nothing. All right. Well, listen, if you guys need to get caked up for any event coming up, if you guys need to make sure you're getting fresh, or ladies, I should say. Well, some guys do makeup too. I'm not doing
some guys do.
Yeah. Shout out to Erin Alonso. She did do my makeup for Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with her this year, and she does some amazing job. Her and Mallory and
real fucking quick. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to Envy Beauty Bar. I want Erica on the show. All right. Hopefully in 2024. Let's go. Listen, thank you guys again so much for tuning into the Public Affair. I'm sorry I kept you guys waiting for so long, but we're back. I've got more episodes on the way in the can. And they're going to be great. They're going to be so great. 2024, we're going to be lit. I just appreciate you all so much for all the love and support to Ashley. Yes. Thank you for coming on. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode. I can't believe I still have sponsors. I still have sponsors. We're going on 4 years. Yes.
They still love us.
I told them I was taking off, and they were like, yeah, you good. Yes, they're so great. Listen, to Brothers Roofing and Remodeling with Jesus Sanchez from Mart, Texas, a small construction business. Oh, you know what, Jesus, you need to hit up my girl Ashley. Yes, because he's trying to be more involved here in Waco because he's from Mart. Yeah. Yes, a small construction business from Mart, Texas, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. Protect your home from the crazy elements of this Texas weather, right? And it's cold. Yes. Who knows when the freaking storm's gonna come? Listen, make sure that you guys are hitting up Brothers Roofing and Remodeling, of course, for all remodeling needs as well. Follow on Facebook and call the number on the screen. Y si habla español, to Jesus Sanchez. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to J. Petal and Poke with Junior Fuentes, Thomas Roberts, and their entire family, providing delicious, savory Japanese crepes and poke bowls. They also have handcrafted Thai-rolled ice cream for dessert. You can choose from the menu, or you can just be like me and just make your own bowl because I like to be in control. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just I want this, that, and the other. Okay. Locations on University Park Drive and Hewitt Drive. Make sure you order online at jpetaltx.com. To J. Petal and Poke, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my boy Sid Rodriguez with Elite Barbershop, located on Hewitt Drive. You can call them on the screen to book or download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. He's got Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, Isai Reyes, and Sam Ceballos over there. Making like a snack as I have for more than 181 episodes of The Public Affair. To Elite Barbershop, thank you, bro, so much for all your support of The Public Affair. And of course, I'm not going to go on without thanking Jeffrey Monterey with Pollo Box and Audio Home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. Definite jack of all trades. And you one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. He did the tint in my car. He put the starlights on my car. My car is pimped.
You got starlights?
Girl, I sure do. Sure do. I don't know how to act because of Jeffrey Monterey with Pollo Box and Audios. Okay. Thank you so much, bro, for all you do for me and the show. To everybody that tuned in, I've got got more on the way. We're just so grateful. I'm honestly, in the time that I took off, I really got a lot to reflect and realize how blessed I am to have such a strong following and support system. And I'm really, very blessed and thankful to you guys. Thank you all again so much for riding with me, to my bros, to the studio, everybody. But don't forget, no matter what, to always, always, always keep it between us. That's it. Woo!
That was great.
Did it. Yeah, that was fucking awesome. That was fun.
Great. That was
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.